Welcome to today's explainer. Okay, I want you to picture an everyday scenario for just a second. Imagine you and a good friend both come down with, I don't know, the exact same annoying bug. You go to the clinic and the doc prescribes you both the exact same pill at the exact same dosage. Now, this isn't some experimental drug, it's the gold standard treatment, a drug that's gone through years of trials and works for almost everyone. So you both take it. But here's where things get kind of wild. For your friend, boom, it works exactly as intended, clearing things up almost instantly. But for you, absolutely nothing happens. Or even worse, you actually start feeling awful because you're hit with these severe, unexpected side effects. You took the exact same carefully engineered compound, right? The exact same amount. So why on earth did your bodies react in completely opposite ways?
Which leaves us with a really massive mystery. Why does the exact same medicine work like a charm for one person but cause severe side effects in another? For decades, modern medicine has basically treated standard medication like a universal master key. There was this prevailing assumption that, human biology is just a relatively uniform canvas. The logic was pretty straightforward. If a specific chemical fixes a problem in one person, it should naturally fix that exact same problem in another person in roughly the same way. Because of that, historical medicine has relied heavily on trial and error. We've all experienced the classic, hey, try this dose for a week and let me know how you feel approach, right? But this strange contrast, where standard treatments lead to wildly unpredictable and sometimes dangerous reactions, well, it proves that our bodies are definitely not uniform canvases.
The secret, it turns out, isn't in the chemical makeup of the medicine itself. The answer is actually hidden right there in your genes. We usually think of our DNA as the blueprint for our eye color, our height, or maybe our risk for certain inherited diseases. But it goes so much deeper than that. Your body operates on its own unique genetic cheat code. It's like a giant, incredibly complex instruction manual that tells your body how to produce thousands of specific proteins and enzymes. And these enzymes? They are the microscopic workers responsible for interacting with, breaking down, and activating the meds you ingest. So you and your friend had completely different reactions to that pill, not because the pill was flawed, but because your individual DNA gave your bodies distinct, completely opposing instructions on how to process it.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at the actual mechanics of what's happening. This brings us to a rapidly growing field called pharmacogenomics. Simply put, this is the science of how your unique DNA affects your body's response to medications. What makes this so compelling is that it represents the literal mashup of two worlds that were traditionally kept in separate silos: pharmacology, which is the study of the drugs themselves, and genomics, the study of your unique genetic blueprint. It's a relatively young field, sure, but it is entirely revolutionizing predictive healthcare. By mapping this intersection, scientists are proving that your DNA is directly calling the shots on how you'll respond to a drug long before you even swallow a pill.
So our bodies generally fall into different metabolic extremes when processing generic doses, and this is where those genetic variations become super apparent. Let's talk about what happens in the liver. Some of us have a genetic makeup that classifies us as rapid metabolizers. This means your liver enzymes are operating in absolute overdrive. If you're a rapid metabolizer, your body breaks down a medication incredibly fast. So fast, in fact, that the drug is flushed out of your system before it can even reach therapeutic levels in your bloodstream. You get virtually zero medical benefit. On the flip side, others are what we call poor metabolizers. In this case, the genetic instructions create sluggish enzymes that process drugs incredibly slowly. Because your body isn't clearing the compound out fast enough, that standard dose just builds up in your system like a massive traffic jam, which heavily increases your risk of toxicity and severe side effects. It is entirely dependent on the specific speed of your own unique biological engine.
So how does this actually translate to a practical visit to your doctor's office? Well, it completely removes that traditional trial and error guesswork. Step 1 begins with a really simple analysis of your genetic makeup. Today, this is often just a basic cheek swab or a routine blood draw. The lab takes that and sequences specific families of genes, like the cytochrome P450 enzymes, that are heavily involved in drug metabolism. From there, your doctor receives a highly detailed profile, which leads right into step 2, choosing the right medicine. If the genetic report shows you're a poor metabolizer for a specific class of antidepressants, for example, your doctor can just bypass that drug entirely and pick an alternative compound that your liver actually handles better. And finally, step 3 is choosing the exact right dose. Rather than just handing you the generic adult average, the physician calibrates the dosage perfectly to match your specific metabolic speed. We are witnessing a massive, game-changing shift toward personalized medicine. This means healthcare is tailored specifically to you, rather than relying on a one-size-fits-all average. And the implications of this shift are staggering. Right now, to put this into perspective, adverse drug reactions are actually one of the leading causes of hospital admissions worldwide. Millions of people suffer simply because their bodies are incompatible with a generic dosage. By shifting away from the era of standardized treatments, we aren't just making medication more effective, we're fundamentally reducing the physical trauma of side effects, drastically cutting unnecessary healthcare costs, and ensuring that patients receive the absolute optimal benefit on the very first try. We're stepping into an era where medicine is custom-built for how your body operates on a microscopic level.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. Will a simple DNA test soon become the standard prerequisite to prescribe your safest medication from day one? Imagine a world where, early in life, your medical file is updated with a comprehensive pharmacokinetic profile. If you ever fall ill, your healthcare provider will instantly know exactly which treatments will be seamlessly effective for your biology and which ones to strictly avoid. It fundamentally shifts our entire approach to human longevity and quality of life. Your genetic blueprint isn't just a record of your ancestral past, it's literally the ultimate predictive tool for targeted healing. Thanks for joining me on today's Explainer, and I really hope this gives you a fresh perspective on the incredible complexity of your own biology.